Hello, hello, my 2D animators. All right, welcome to video one of character animation. Before we get started, we are going to set up our workspace to best help us out with this drawing practice. So we are drawing quite a bit, so we are going to change that workspace to sure all of our tools in each, and we've got enough room to see our drawing. So we're going to press New File. We are going to select 1920 by 1080. Frame rate is going to be 24 frames per second. Action script 3. Press create. And then what I would like you to do is I'd like you to navigate up to this toolbar here, and we're going to go and reset our workspace. So we're going to go to Window, Workspaces, and this time instead of Essentials that we've been working on, I'm going to select Classic. And I'm going to reset my Classic so that you see what I see. All right, this is the workspace that you are going to be greeted with, and we need to do a little bit of tweaking. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to my properties panel here, and I'm just going to minimize it. We are going to be using this quite a bit, but I do want it minimized until I need it, and then that way it just pulls it out in a nice drop down, and I can minimize that again. So I have the most room possible. And then also I'm going to come over here to my timeline tab. I'm going to hold click and drag it down to my stage, and that undocks my timeline. I'm going to go ahead and get my double arrows and just kind of move this because I don't need all these frames. We're going to be primarily working on frame 1. I'm going to use my arrow up here to move it, and then I'm going to kind of drag it down because we're going to have a ton of layers here. So I want to be able to see all my layers. I want my stage to be nice and large, and so that I can see my drawing. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to this 3 dots. I'm going to drag over my paintbrush tool and my pencil tool. And then I'm going to close my 3 dots here. And so now within Grasp, I have all my layers. I have all the tools that I'll potentially need for drawing. I have my color picker here that I can work with, which is great. You can choose colors down here, right? If I choose this green here or this a swatch here. But what's really nice about using it up here is I can actually click on black point. And so if I have a green that I'm using, and I want to find the shadow for that green, I can go ahead and bring down that black point and I can get a nice shadow color there. Or if I want a highlight color, I can get a highlight color. So that's really handy. And then also my library tab here will be really handy because we're going to be making quite a few symbols today. Okay, we are ready to import our image. So we are going to go to File, Import, Import to Stage, and I've got a couple of drawings that I did. We're going to work with this human character, which please don't judge my drawings. They are what they are. I am not the best hand-drawn animator. Okay, so we've got our girl in the frame, and right now I don't want to minimize her down to my animation frame right here, which is depicted right here. I actually want to make my frame a little bit larger so that this line isn't distracting. And remember, we're using vector drawing, so we can always scale her down later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead to the Properties panel, and while I have the image selected, you can see that it tells me what the image size is. Its width is 2296 by 4032. So now I can go to my document and I can say 2039 by 4032. And now my canvas is sized the same size as my image here, or my document size is the same size as my image. So now I can kind of draw a little bit larger and really get in there for details. So that's going to be how we're going to set up our document. The last few things I would like you to do is I would like you to lock your layer because we don't want to accidentally draw on this. And then if your drawing is dark like mine, if you double click here, you can go ahead and make sure the opacity is at 50%. so that we can see our line work. And we are all set up. The last thing we need to do is label this reference image. Image. And now we have our layer properly labeled. Okay, I'll see you in the next video and we'll get started drawing.